When taking points, you need to bow your head. At this time, you can find that the vertebrae at the junction of the neck and back have a protrusion, which can rotate left and right with the neck. This is the 7th cervical vertebra, and the next vertebra is the 1st thoracic vertebra. Under the 1st thoracic spinous process, open the muscle depression of about 2 transverse fingers, which is Da Shu point. To stimulate Da Shu point, you can use the method of tapping, and press the pulp of the thumb at the position of Da Shu point. People with bad cervical vertebrae usually, if there is obvious tenderness, gradually use deep pressure, hold for 10 seconds and then release, 1 pressure and 1 release for a cycle. Press the Da Shu point for 5 to 10 minutes, and massage methods are often used to stimulate the Da Shu point. Press the pulp of the thumb on the position of the Da Shu point, and then maintain a certain strength to rotate and massage. To the extent that the local soreness is obvious, press and knead for 5 to 10 minutes each time. And the cupping method can also be used to stimulate the Da Shu point. This method is particularly effective for stimulating Da Shu points. Generally, the pot can be lifted after 10 to 15 minutes. However, it is worth noting that the operation method of cupping is too professional. Generally speaking, it is not recommended to operate it at home. So as to avoid causing accidental burns or scalds, you can also tap Da Shu with a plum blossom needle for 5 minutes each time. When the pain persists, then cupping at the point for 5 to 10 minutes. In addition, Da Shu point is also very useful for relieving knee pain. The good effect is that in the vicinity of the Da Shu point, you can often feel a thick cord like an earthworm. After pressing, rubbing, and pulling with your fingers, the knee joint pain will be relieved. First of all, it is necessary to correctly select Yun Men point. It is located in the depression of the subclavian fossa, 6 inches away from the front midline of the body. There is a very simple way to find Yun Men point. There is a triangular depression at the outer end of the collarbone on both sides of the shoulders. And the center point of this depression is the Yun Men point. When rubbing, you can press the Yun Men point with your thumb. It is to press Yun Men point accurately. Press the point with fingers. Gradually press hard and deeply. Hold for 10 seconds and then release. One pressing and one loosening as a cycle. Massage Yun Men point 100 times at a time, or use the method of pressing and kneading. The arm on one side of the point is raised, and the index finger and the pulp of the middle finger of the other hand are placed on the Yun Men point. And then gently rotate and press in a circular motion, then turn it counterclockwise 100 times. Since Yun Men point is symmetrical from left to right, it is a double point. So pay attention to rubbing on both sides, 2 to 3 times a day. If the pressure is more severe, the pressure can be increased moderately, once the pain is relieved. The symptoms will be greatly relieved. Lao Gong point is located in the center of the palm. In our palm, there are two relatively large palm lines, intersecting in a herringbone shape. Extending along the middle line of the middle finger towards the palm, passing through the area below the intersection of the herringbone characters, and the overlapping place is Lao Gong point. To stimulate the Lao Gong point, you can use the method of tapping. Place the thumb on the Lao Gong point, place the other fingers on the arm. Apply pressure on the point with the thumb and press deeply. Hold for 5 to 6 seconds and then release. Rest for 3 seconds before proceeding press. Press and release as a cycle. Press Lao Gong point for 5 to 10 minutes. You can also press Lao Gong point with both hands on the corner of the table, or use a small wooden stick, pen cover and other blunt objects to press. Stimulating the Lao Gong point is not limited by time and place. The simplest method is to clench the fist, which is actually stimulating the Lao Gong point. You can also press the thumbs of both hands to each other, and cross the left and right hands. You can also use the method of pressing and rubbing the thumbs. Press the Lao Gong point with the finger pulp, and then use the point as the center to rotate and massage with gravity. The massage time is between 5 and 10 minutes when massage. Keep calm and breathe evenly. You can also press your thumb on the Lao Gong point, on the points, rub with a little force until the hands are hot. And then use the left hand to rub the right hand in the same way. Zhang Chong point is located on the hand, on the pulp of the middle finger, near the center of the tip of the nail, which is the Zhang Chong point, to stimulate the Zhang Chong point. You can use the method of tapping. Press the thumb pulp on the Zhang Chong point, gradually press hard and deeply, keep 5 to 6 seconds and then release, rest for 3 seconds and then press. One pressing and one loosening is a cycle. Press the Zhang Chong point for 3 to 5 minutes, and stimulate the Zhang Chong point. You can also use the cutting method, also known as the cutting method. The pinching method is to use the force of the thumb tip of our finger, opposite the tip of the index finger, and the hardness of the nail, to press the Zhang Chong point forcefully. Because the position of the Zhang Chong point is special, and the bone in this part is thin, the feeling is sensitive, so it is very suitable for massage using the cutting method. You can also use a cotton swab or the end of a pen or a toothpick. Anything with a blunt end can be used. And then use the blunt end of these items to continuously stab. In this method can achieve the same effect as acupuncture and moxia. The blood pricking therapy is very effective for stimulating the Zhang Chong point. It is possible to use a 3-edged needle or a sewing needle. Sterilize. Then pinch the skin at the Zhang Chong point. Quickly prick the skin with a needle a few times. Squeeze out 5 to 10 drops of blood. And then quickly use a cotton swab to gently press and stop the bleeding. Usually 1 to 3 times blood. You can see the effect. First find the Zhuanzu point, which is located on the face. When the brow is sunken, it is the position of the Zhuanzu point. To stimulate the Zhuanzu point, you can use the pressing method. Press the thumb pulp to the position of the Zhuanzu point. Soreness is enough. Last for 5 to 10 seconds, then release, and then press again, 10 minutes each time, 5 times a day. 15 days is a course of treatment. You can also use the massage method to stimulate the Zhuanzu point, and press the thumb pulp at the position of Zhuanzu point. Press and knead deeply with the finger pulp, then press and knead it, maintain the intensity, then relax, press and knead again, and continue repeatedly, 10 minutes each time, 5 times a day. 15 days is a course of treatment, and then come again. Find the location of Tongzi Liao point, which is located on the face, next to the outer canthus of the eye, and at the lateral edge of the orbit, which is the location of Tongzi Liao point. To stimulate Tongzi Liao point, the same method as that of Zhuanzu can be used. Long-term stimulation can relieve wind, the effect of dispelling heat and detoxifying. Shaozi point is located on the ulnar side of the tip of the little finger, 0.1 inch away from the foot of the nail. When taking the point, you can make a small fist and extend the little finger from the palm downward. Make a straight line from the outer edge and the lower edge of the little nail, and the intersection of these two lines, it is Shaozi point. Put the fingernail tips of thumb and index finger on Shaozi point. Use the hardness of fingernails. Press the point vertically. You can pinch and press the point for 3 to 5 minutes at a time. You can also find a few toothpicks, turn it upside down, or use the end of a ballpoint pen, as long as it has a round blunt tip. And then use the round blunt tip of these objects to puncture the Shaozi point continuously. For a similar effect, the twisting method in massage can also be used, that is, use the ribbed surface of the thumb and index finger to pinch the skin at the Shaozi point, and then use the two fingers to make a symmetrical twisting thread-like rapid twisting movement. It is flexible and fast, and the force should not be sluggish. You can also use the method of moxibustion to ignite the moxa stick. Hang the ignited end on the point about 2 to 3 centimeters from the skin of Xiao Z point, and apply moxa for 10 to 20 minutes each time. Pay attention to the redness of the skin at the point and stop it. In addition, the blood pricking method is also applicable to the Xiao Z point. When pricking the blood, the skin is first disinfected, then the skin at the Xiao Z point is pinched, and the needle is quickly punctured on the skin a few times. Do not need to stab deeply. Let it bleed 3 to 5 drops, then gently press with a cotton swab to stop the bleeding, once a day. GNY shoe point is on the back. When taking points, you should lean forward and sit with your head down, and touch your hands down your neck. There is a very obvious bony protrusion where the neck and back meet, which is 7th spinous process of the cervical vertebra, along the spinous process of the 7th cervical vertebra. Pushes down a vertebral spinous process, which is the spinous process of the 1st thoracic vertebra. The depression that is touched is the position of the GNY shoe point. To stimulate the GNY shoe point, you can use the method of tapping. Press the thumb pulp to press the GNY shoe point. People with cervical spondylosis usually feel more obvious pain at this time. Then press firmly. Hold for 20 seconds and then release. Press and release as a cycle. Press GNY shoe for 10 minutes each time. And there is another easy way to stimulate GNY shoe by yourself. For the shoulder, stimulate the right shoulder outside the GNY shoe point. Use the right hand to stimulate the left shoulder outside the GNY shoe point. Press the left hand finger firmly on the right point and do not move. Then draw the right arm shoulder joint forward or backward. Pay attention to the strength when stimulating. It can be slightly larger to stimulate the GNY shoe point, and cupping can also be used. This method is particularly effective for stimulating the GNY shoe point. To the extent that the skin at the cupping site can be tolerated, the cups are kept for 10 to 15 minutes each time. First, find the position of Hu-Shi point. Hu-Shi point is on the ulnar side of the little finger, behind the head of the fifth metacarpal bone, in layman's terms. There are three main lines on our palms: the life line, the wisdom line, and the emotional line. The Hu-Shi point is right there, at the end of the emotional line, when making a fist. You can see the end of the emotional line on the ulnar side of the palm. There is a slight protrusion, which is the Hu-Shi point. In addition, you can also slightly clench the fist. Behind the fifth finger metacarpal joint, the ulnar side of the fist, the place where the palm crosses the head and the border between the red and white flesh, is the Hu-Shi point. If you are sitting in front of the computer, you can place this part of the Hu-Shi point of both hands on the edge of the table, and use the edge of the office table to roll and rub the Hu-Shi point. Use the wrist joint to drive the hands and roll back and forth easily to achieve a stimulating effect. You can also use your thumb to press and knead this point when you feel back pain. Half make a fist with your right hand, and then use the thumb thread of your left hand. Go to the heavier points and massage the Hu-Shi point, and then exchange, so you will receive the same effect. Generally, massage this way for 3 to 5 minutes each time, and massage once an hour. You must insist on rolling or massaging Hu-Shi point. Only in this way can it play a role in treating neck and low back pain. Massage Hu-Shi point, suitable for friends of different ages and occupations. Guan Chong point is located on the hand. When taking points, straighten the palm of the hand and keep the 5 fingers together. 2 lines at the corner of the ring finger extend outwards horizontally and vertically. The connection point of the 2 lines is the Guan Chong point. Stimulating the Guan Chong point can using the cutting method, also known as the pinching method, is to use the opposing force of the thumb and index fingertips of the fingers, as well as the hardness of the nails, to press the Guan Chong point hard. The texture is thin and sensitive, so it is very suitable for massage using the cutting method. You can also find a cotton swab or use the end of a pen or bring a toothpick to it, as long as it is a round shield, and then use the round shield of these items, continuously puncturing the Guan Chong point. This method can achieve the same effect as acupuncture. It should be noted that when the Guan Chong point is stimulated, it will feel very painful, so the force can be slightly lighter. There is also a stimulation point for the Guan Chong point. The method is lancing therapy. When lancing blood, you can use a 3-edged needle or sewing needle, a disposable injection needle. Before lancing, the needle and the skin should be carefully sterilized with alcohol, and then squeezed a little bit on the skin at the point. Use a needle to quickly prick the skin a few times with a depth of about 0.1 inch. Now it is bleeding. If the blood does not come out, you can use your hands to squeeze out the blood about 3 to 5 drops each time to stop the bleeding. The color turns to bright red, and then quickly press down with a cotton swab to stop the bleeding. The lancing therapy can be done once a day. The Tai Chi point is on the inner side of the foot, and it is pushed backward from the inner ankle of the foot to the depression between the Achilles tendon and the Achilles tendon. To stimulate the Tai Chi point, you can use the method of tapping, pressing the Tai Chi point with the thumb pulp. Gradually press firmly and deeply, hold for 5 to 6 seconds and then release. Press and release for a cycle. Press Tai Chi point for 5 to 10 minutes each time. stimulate tai chi point can also use the method of massage, thumb pulp press. Stay on the tai chi point. Maintain a certain strength, and perform rotary massage with the point as the center, usually for 5 to 10 minutes each time, to stimulate the tai chi point. Moxibustion can also be used. The skin at the tai chi point is about 2 to 3 centimeters away, and the skin at the point is mild but not burning, and it is 10 to 15 minutes each time. Jing Men Point is located below the free end of the 12th rib. Zhang Men Point can be found first when selecting points. Zhang Men Point is located on the side of the abdomen. With the elbow flexed in the axilla, the tip of the elbow is opposite to the rib. Zhang Men Point, 2 horizontal fingers behind. A particularly painful point is Jing Men Point. To stimulate Jing Men Point, you can use the method of massage. Press the position of Jing Men Point with the pulp of your thumb. And then take the point as the center and maintain a certain force to rotate clockwise. Press and knead for 5 to 10 minutes each time. You can also use the method of tapping to stimulate the Jing Men Point. Use the bones of the finger knuckles to press the position of the Jing Men Point. Press down, hold for 3 seconds and release it. Pressing and loosening is a cycle. Pressing the Jing Men Point for 5 to 10 minutes each time is also suitable for stimulating the Jing Men Point after burning the moxa sticks. Aim at the skin surface of the Jing Men Point for about 2 to 3 centimeters for moxa. For moxibustion, the skin at the points should feel mild but without burning pain. Moxa is applied for 10 to 15 minutes each time. Cupping can also stimulate the Jing Men Point. The cups are left for 10 to 15 minutes each time, however. It is worth noting that the operation method of cupping is too professional. Generally speaking, it is not recommended to operate it at home to avoid accidental burns or scalds. The da-dun point is located on the big toe, along the outer edge of the inside of the toenail of the big toe. Make a straight line horizontally and vertically. The intersection of the two lines is the da-dun point. To stimulate the da-dun point, you can use pinching and pressing. The method is to use the thumb to press and pinch the position of the da-dun point. The intensity can be slightly heavier, and it is suitable for slight pain. Hold for 5 to 6 seconds and then release. One pinch and one loosening is a cycle. Each side of the da-dun point can be pinch-press for 3 to 5 minutes, then switch hands to pinch and press the other side. You can also use acupuncture-like methods to stimulate the da-dun point. Take 5 to 6 cotton swabs or toothpicks, tie them with rubber strips, and then use the blunt end. Continuously puncture the da-dun point for 3 to 5 minutes. Similar effects to acupuncture can be achieved. You can also use the point pressure method in scraping to stimulate the da-dun point. Hold the scraping board, and align the thick corners of the scraping board with the skin at the da-dun point is at a 90-degree angle, and then press down, gradually increasing the force. As long as it can be tolerated, keep it for a few seconds and then lift it up quickly. This operation is performed for 3 to 5 minutes, and gentle moxibustion can be used to stimulate the da-dun point. Point the ignited moxa stick at the da-dun point about 2 to 3 centimeters away from the skin surface of the point, and burn moxa for 10 to 15 minutes each time. The above operation methods can be used alone or in combination. The most point of Kong Ji is located on the human arm. To find this point, first look for Che Z point. Stretch the arm forward with the palm upward. Slightly bend the elbow, in the cubital crease. In the depression on the radial side of the biceps tendon, this is the point, position, there is a Tai Yuan point on the wrist crease. Draw a straight line between Che Zi point and Tai Yuan point on the wrist crease. Divide this line into 12 equal parts, about 5/12 from Che Zi point. It is the most point of Kong Ji point. Also called Shi point in traditional Chinese medicine, it is a position with deep qi and blood. People with hemorrhoids will feel very painful when pressed, so it should be easy to find. When massaging, press the hole with the pulp of the thumb, the most point. At this time, you can feel the local soreness and pain, and then focus on the point. Maintain a certain strength. Gently rotate and massage, press and knead the most point of the hole 36 times as a group, and generally treat 3 to 5 groups alternately. Yes, the massage time is between 2 and 3 minutes. You can also take 6 toothpicks, tie them with rubber strips, and then use the tip of the toothpick to puncture the points continuously, to achieve the same effect as acupuncture. The point pressure method in scraping can also be used to stimulate the most points of the point. After fully exposing the upper limbs, hold the scraping board in hand and press down, gradually increasing the force, as long as it can be tolerated. Lift up. Do this 5 to 10 times, and master these simple and easy manipulations. Believe that those friends who are troubled by hemorrhoids will have a great degree of relief in a short period of time. The location of the Lan Wei point is easy to find. The knee is bent, and there is a depression on the outer side of the lower border of the patella of the knee. The center of the depression is the Dubai point. Note that with your own fingers as the degree, you can use the method of tapping to stimulate the Lan Wei point. Press and hold the Lan Wei point with the thumb pulp. Gradually press hard and deeply. Hold for 5 seconds and then release, one pressing and one loosening as a cycle. And each tap the appendix point is 3 to 5 minutes, twice a day, and massage is also a commonly used method to stimulate the Lanwei point. Put the thumb and the other 4 fingers facing each other and press the appendix point with the thumb. At this time, you will feel the local soreness and pain, previously, then focus on the points. Maintain a certain strength, perform rotary massage, each massage for 3 to 5 minutes, 2 times a day, and moxibustion is also suitable for stimulating the Lanwei point. And the ignited moxa one end of the strip is aimed at the Lanwei point about 2 to 3 centimeters perpendicular to the skin surface, to the extent that the skin feels mild but there is no burning pain. Use the method of clockwise rotation from the inside to the outside, moxibustion for 5 to 10 minutes each time. Pay attention to stop when the skin at the point is flushed. The above operation methods can be used alone or in combination. First find the Zusanli point, which is located 4 horizontal fingers under the eye of the outer knee and 1 horizontal finger next to the tibia, to stimulate the Zusanli point. You can use the pressing method. Place the thumb on the Zusanli point, and press deeply with the finger pulp for 5 to 10 seconds, relax, and press again, repeatedly for 10 minutes each time. 5 times a day. You can also use the massage method. Place your thumb on Zusanli point, press deeply with your finger pulp, and then press and rub it. Continue for 5 to 10 seconds, then relax. Press again, and continue repeatedly, 10 minutes each time, 5 times a day. Then find Yang Ling Quan point, which is located on the outer side of the calf. When the depression in front of and under the fibular head, stimulating Yang Ling Quan point can using moxibustion. Ignite the moxa stick and aim it at Yang Ling Quan point about 2 to 3 centimeters away from the skin surface, to the extent that the skin feels mild but without burning pain. Each moxibustion is about 10 minutes, redness is enough, once a day before going to bed. In addition, pressing method and massage method are also suitable for Yang Ling Quan point. Fei Yang point is located on the back of the calf, in the depression between the tip of the outer ankle and the Achilles tendon, is the Kunlun point. And the 0.7 inches above the Kunlun point is the Fei Yang point. The position of the point, press gradually and deeply, hold for 5 to 6 seconds and then release. 1 press and 1 release form a cycle. Press the Fei Yang point for 5 to 8 minutes. You can also use the method of pressing and kneading to stimulate the Fei Yang point. With the thumb press on Fei Yang point, the strength is suitable for soreness. Centering on the point, perform rotary massage for 5 to 10 minutes each time. You can also stimulate Fei Yang point by tapping, and make a fist at the position of Fei Yang point. Tap, beat for 10 minutes each time. Gentle moxibustion can be used to stimulate Fei Yang point. After burning moxa sticks, aim at Fei Yang point about 2 to 3 centimeters from the surface of the skin at the point. The skin at the point feels mild, but there is no burning sensation. Moxibustion for 10 to 15 minutes each time. You can also use bird pecks to stimulate Fei Yang. Hold the ignited moxa stick in your hand, aim at Fei Yang point, and perform moxibustion together by falling near and far, usually for 10 to 15 minutes each time, left and right, with the skin warm and flushed as the degree.